Hello, everyone. My name is MightyStream. I'm going to do your March the 20th Spiritual Principle Day in a Meditation. You can reach me at recoveryofhope21@gmail.com. I am rushing. I have already taped for this meditation and got to the tail end and went into a coughing fit. So I am rushing to get this out to you on time. It is entitled Self-Support Beyond the Basket. When we see that we can meet our own needs, we start to feel like we have a future. That is taken from Guiding Principles book, Tradition 7, Opening Reflection. Active addiction was a dead-end circuit of dependence, our reliance on dope, on the lifestyle, on that person to front us some cash one last time so we can get on our feet. We took without giving. We talked without listening. We made a lot of promises, but came through on very few, if any, of them. We couldn't see our way out or a future for ourselves until we got clean and began our journey towards self-support and recovery. When we consider self-support as a spiritual principle of Tradition 7, we think mostly of giving money or contributing our time to make sure a group can survive. But an NA group exists because it's made up of members who are practicing self-support in their own lives. In recovery, we learn to invest in ourselves and take care of our own needs. Instead of utter dependence on others, we look inside to find a well of strength and resources. We also take personal responsibility in situations where before it seemed that we were incapable of doing so. In fact, making our contributions to NA demonstrates our capacity and willingness to engage in self-support. We are investing in ourselves through our recovery community, participating and keeping the doors open for those who come after. This support of others keeps us aloft, keeps us going. Self-support isn't something we practice alone. When we talk about taking care of our own needs, it doesn't mean we're self-sufficient. It means we're engaging the support we need. We can turn to our friends, a sponsor, our higher power, all of which are elements of self-support. We are an integral part of that system too. Because we're meeting our own needs, others can rely on us. I will practice self-support today by giving and receiving. If I stay on this path, I'll sustain the hope for a future I thought I'd never have. Let's take a moment of silence, followed by the we version of the Serenity Prayer. Moment of silence now, please. God, grant us the serenity to accept the things that we cannot change, the courage to change the things that we can, and the wisdom to know the difference just for today. Please and thank you. That's a beautiful meditation. I was thinking about when I first came to Narcotics Anonymous, and even though by every standard, there was no reason for me to be in such a desperate financial situation, except for the fact that every penny I could get my hands on, I was using it to get one more. And so there were a lot of times, people would offer to feed me a meal after a meeting, or I think one time someone gave me some money to get my phone back on because I was sharing about not being able to reach out to people when I was trying to stay clean, and the urge would be so intense. And it just really destroyed me that I hadn't taken care of my bills, and I had plenty of money to do it. But here I was clean, trying to catch up on some of the stuff that I had missed while I was using. And the phone bill had gotten away from me. And I remember someone offering to pay that phone bill. And now I can't tell you how many people I've helped with their phones. I can remember one person, a sponsor, in fact, at the end of her life, she needed to have a phone, and I happened to have an extra one. And I allowed her to use it until after she passed. And then her family gave it back to me after she passed away. But that connection, the point that I'm making is that sometimes we receive freely from other people in an effort for us to continue in our recovery. And then when we get on our feet, we turn around and give back freely what was given to us. You know, the seventh tradition is a spiritual principle, really, of being self supporting. And it's something that, if you really think about it, the people that are going into their pocket and purses to put a few dollars or change into the basket are self-supporting to a large degree outside of the rooms. Otherwise, they wouldn't have anything to put in the basket. And then there's those that have plenty and never put anything in. And I just believe they're probably very miserable, or just like myself at the beginning, struggling to figure it all out. Hopefully that's not you. And if it is you, you have time to reconsider. How can you be more self-supporting in your day-to-day life, which doesn't mean that you're self-sufficient, but that you know where to turn so that you have the support that you need. And that has to be initiated by yourself, right? That's the whole definition of self-supporting. You initiate the request for assistance and you receive it. You know what to do, where to turn. Yeah. And so that's a very powerful thing. Don't get it confused with being self-sufficient, though. There's a big difference. We need each other. I need you, and you need me, and we all need Narcotics Anonymous. I'm so glad that I made it, and I've stayed. My name is Mighty Stream. I've enjoyed talking to you, and I will be talking to you tomorrow. But in the meantime, make March the 20th the best March 20th you've ever lived on purpose.